Gemini, stop for a moment. As of August 15, 2026, only 3 days remain before a storm reaches a turning point in your life. The warning in this title is real within this reading. Something intense is building, and you may sense pressure around love, money, family, work, or one choice you've been delaying. What makes this different is that the coming days could expose something hidden while pushing you toward a decision you can't avoid forever. A message may arrive. Someone's behavior could suddenly change. An old situation might return with new meaning. Whatever appears, don't panic, because this storm may clear a path that has been blocked for long. Gemini, your intuition matters right now. Before we uncover what these next 3 days may reveal, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. Stay with me, because the first sign may already be closer than you think. Closer than you think, Gemini. The first sign may not arrive with thunder or some huge event. It could begin quietly, almost too quietly to notice. A delayed reply might suddenly bother you more than usual. Someone may become distant. A plan could change. You might wake up with one person, one decision, or one unfinished situation already sitting heavily on your mind. These moments can seem small, but together they create a pattern. Today, August 15, is the point where you need to start paying attention. The next 3 days carry pressure because something beneath the surface may finally need your attention. You don't have to assume the worst. Stay calm and watch what unfolds. Before the main event, you may notice a shift in someone's tone, sudden memory, repeated number, an unexpected thought, or a strong feeling that tells you something isn't finished. Your mind may keep returning to a conversation that happened weeks or months ago. It may simply mean something inside you still needs clarity. Pay attention to delays, too. Something you've been waiting for could seem stuck, and that delay may test your patience. You might wonder why an answer hasn't arrived, why a person hasn't called, or why an opportunity hasn't moved forward, Gemini. Don't let silence convince you that nothing is happening. Sometimes silence gives truth room to form. There is another warning worth hearing. During these 3 days, you may feel tempted to force an answer because uncertainty can become uncomfortable. You could send the message first, make a quick choice, or confront someone before you know the full story. That reaction could give temporary relief, but it may also close a door that needed more time to open. Instead, watch behavior. Words can sound perfect, while actions reveal something completely different. If someone promises one thing but keeps doing another, notice it. If a person suddenly becomes more interested in your life, notice that too. If someone disappears and then returns as though nothing happened, don't ignore how their return makes you feel. Your response can give you useful information. Love may become one of the areas where this pressure is easiest to feel. A relationship could enter a moment of honesty. Someone may finally say what they've been holding back, or you may realize that your own feelings have changed. If you're single, an old connection could cross your mind again. That doesn't automatically mean the person is coming back. It may be asking you why it still has power over you. Money and work can also carry signs. A payment may be delayed, an offer may change, or a new possibility may appear when you weren't looking for it. Don't measure an opportunity only by how exciting it looks at first. Read the details, ask questions, think about what happens after the first promise. A storm can bring value, but know what you're accepting. Family matters may create another layer of tension. Someone could need your attention while you're already dealing with your own concerns. An old disagreement might return. A relative may share information that changes how you see a situation. Before reacting, give yourself room to breathe. Not every emotional moment needs an immediate answer. Your body and mind may also ask for a slower pace. Restlessness, poor focus, or a feeling of being mentally crowded can happen when you're carrying too many unanswered questions. Don't treat every uncomfortable feeling as a prediction. Sometimes your mind simply needs rest. The goal isn't fear. It's awareness without becoming overwhelmed. There's a reason this 3-day window matters in this reading. You may have spent a long time waiting for something to change, while telling yourself that patience was the only option now. The energy shifts from waiting toward recognition. You may finally see what you've been missing. A truth that once felt confusing could become simple. A person who once seemed impossible to understand could suddenly make perfect sense. Imagine standing in a room with the curtains closed. You know sunlight is outside, but you can't see it. Then someone opens one curtain. The room doesn't transform instantly, yet everything becomes easier to see. That's the kind of change we're talking about. The storm may not solve everything. It may reveal what was already there. Gemini, this is why you shouldn't fear the first uncomfortable sign. A difficult conversation can give you freedom. A disappointing answer can save you from wasting more time. A canceled plan can protect you from walking down the wrong road. Even an ending can become useful when it finally stops you from holding onto something that no longer fits. Still, there's something you must be careful about. Don't let excitement make you believe every person, message, or opportunity is automatically meant for you. Your curiosity is strong, and that can be a gift, but it can also make you chase answers too quickly. Let evidence meet intuition. Give people room to show who they are. Give situations enough time to reveal their direction. Over these next 3 days, keep one question close. What is this situation trying to show me? Not why is this happening to me? Not how can I make this stop? Ask what it is revealing. That shift can change how you move through pressure. Maybe you'll discover that you're stronger than you thought. Maybe you'll realize that you don't need someone's approval anymore. Perhaps financial concern will point you toward a smarter choice. Maybe a relationship will become more honest. There are several possible forms this storm can take, but the deeper message remains the same. Something is asking to be seen. And Gemini, once you see it, you won't be able to pretend you didn't. That is where the next part becomes important, because the strongest clue may not come from what happens around you. It may come from something hidden that has been developing quietly behind the scenes, waiting for the right moment to surface. Waiting for the right moment to surface. Gemini, if you're still with me, take this as your gentle reminder to stay close, because this is where the reading gets deeper. The storm isn't only about an event that appears from nowhere. It may involve a truth that has been growing quietly while your attention was focused somewhere else. Think about the situation you've been questioning lately. Maybe you've been wondering why someone feels different. Perhaps a conversation ended without real closure. You could be waiting for a response, watching a relationship change, or sensing that a person isn't telling you everything. Another possibility is that you've been carrying a decision in silence because choosing one direction means leaving another behind. Here's the part I want you to remember. Hidden doesn't always mean dangerous. Sometimes something stays hidden because the timing hasn't been right. A person may need courage before speaking. An opportunity may need one final piece before appearing. Your own feelings may need time before you can name them. What looks like confusion today can become clarity very quickly. Over these next 3 days, watch for information that changes the story. A message could contain one sentence that makes an old situation look completely different. Someone might admit something you never expected to hear. You may discover that a delay wasn't rejection at all. There could even be a chance to correct a mistake before it becomes permanent. If you're thinking about someone right now, don't rush past that feeling. Ask yourself why their name came to mind while hearing this. Maybe there is unfinished emotion there. Maybe you're hoping for an apology. Maybe you want another chance. Or perhaps your heart already knows that the connection has reached its natural ending, even though your mind hasn't accepted it yet. Love carries especially strong energy around this storm. A person who has been distant may become more open. Someone who seemed certain could suddenly show doubt. An old connection might send a message, react to something you post, or find another reason to appear in your world. Yet the important question isn't simply whether they return. The real question is what they bring with them. If they return with the same behavior, the same excuses, and the same uncertainty, then their arrival may be a test rather than a gift. On the other hand, genuine effort, honest communication, and consistent actions can show that something has changed. Gemini, don't measure love by how strongly someone makes you feel. Measure it by how safely and clearly they treat you. Money may reveal a similar hidden pattern. You could have been focused on one expected source while overlooking another possibility. A conversation with a coworker, an old contact, or someone in your family might open a door. A payment could finally arrive. A small opportunity could lead towards something larger. Don't dismiss modest beginnings simply because they aren't the dramatic breakthrough you imagined. Work can bring an important clue, too. Perhaps you've felt overlooked or unsure about your direction. During this short window, someone may recognize your effort. You could receive an invitation, hear about a position, or realize that your current path no longer matches what you want. Pay attention to who values your abilities, not only who asks for your time. There's also a deeper storm happening inside you. For a while, You may have been trying to keep everyone comfortable while ignoring your own needs. You've said yes when you wanted to say no. You've stayed quiet to avoid conflict. You've accepted less because you feared losing what little you had. The coming days may challenge that pattern. When your inner truth becomes louder than your fear, change starts. You may suddenly understand why certain situations kept repeating, the same type of person problem, or disappointment may have appeared again and again because there was a lesson you hadn't fully accepted. This doesn't mean you caused every difficult thing. It means you can decide what happens next. During the next 3 days, protect your attention. Don't spend hours checking your phone for a message. Don't search endlessly for signs because you're afraid of missing one. Don't allow a prediction to make you anxious about events. Your power comes from staying present. If something important arrives, you'll be able to recognize it without chasing it. There may also be a moment when someone tries to pull you back into an old emotional cycle. They could bring up memories, guilt, promises, or words you've wanted to hear for a long time. Before opening that door, remember why it closed. Missing someone doesn't always mean you should return to them. Sometimes longing is simply proof that the connection mattered. At the same time, don't build walls around your heart just because you've been disappointed. The storm isn't asking you to become cold. It's asking you to become clearer. You can forgive without forgetting. You can care without chasing. You can love someone and still choose yourself. Now here's the detail that may surprise you. The hidden truth could involve you more than another person. You may discover that you've already made a choice inside your heart, but you've been waiting for an outside event to give you permission to act. Maybe you've known you need to leave, begin speak, apply forgive, or finally stop waiting. The coming pressure may simply remove the excuse for delaying it. So if a door opens, look carefully. If one closes, don't immediately chase it. If someone speaks, listen beyond the words. If silence continues, listen to what that silence tells you. Every response carries information. And remember the biggest clue of all, peace can be a sign too. If one option brings relief after a long period of confusion, don't ignore that feeling. Sometimes the future doesn't arrive with fireworks. Sometimes it arrives as a quiet decision that finally feels right. But there is one final layer we haven't reached yet. The hidden situation may not simply reveal information. It may force a turning point. Something could happen that makes staying the same impossible. That's where the storm reaches its peak. And Gemini, that's exactly what we need to uncover next. That's where the storm reaches its peak. And Gemini, that's exactly what we need to uncover next. The biggest turning point may arrive when you realize that the thing you've been trying to control was never yours to control. A person may make a choice. A plan may change. A door may close. News may arrive that you didn't expect. At first, your reaction could be fear because change often feels like loss before it reveals its purpose. But listen, this turning point isn't here to punish you. It's here to move you. For some Geminis, the change may involve a relationship. You could finally see someone's true intentions without having to guess anymore. Their actions may answer questions that their words never could. If you've been waiting for commitment, clarity, or honesty, these next days can bring a moment that makes the situation impossible to misunderstand. If the truth shows you that someone isn't right for you, let that information protect you. Don't chase an explanation from someone who keeps giving you reasons to doubt yourself. Don't beg for attention that should be offered freely. Your heart deserves consistency, not a cycle of hope followed by disappointment. Money may reveal a similar hidden pattern. You may have felt like money was moving too slowly, or that every unexpected expense arrived at the wrong time. A new opening could appear through work, a side opportunity, conversation, or something you had almost forgotten about. It may not look huge at first, but its timing could matter more than its size. Don't overlook something simply because it begins small. A small payment can create breathing room. A short project can lead to a longer opportunity. One conversation can connect you with someone who knows exactly where your next chance is waiting. The storm may shake your current plan so that you notice another path. Career energy can also become intense. Maybe you've been doing more than people realize. Maybe you've wanted recognition but stopped expecting it. During this window, someone could finally notice your effort. Yet recognition may arrive in an unexpected form. It might be a new responsibility, an invitation, request for your opinion, or a chance to prove what you can do. Don't shrink when the moment comes. You may feel nervous because being seen can be just as uncomfortable as being ignored. Still, remember how many times you've questioned whether you were capable enough. This could be your chance to stop waiting for someone else to confirm your value. There's another powerful possibility. You may choose yourself. That sounds simple, but for someone who has spent years putting other people's needs first, it can feel like a storm. Saying no can feel selfish. Walking away can feel cruel. Asking for more can feel uncomfortable. Yet sometimes the most loving decision you can make is the one that finally respects your own limits. Over the next 3 days, watch for situations that make your boundaries clear. Someone may ask for more than you're willing to give. A familiar pattern could return and tempt you to respond the old way. This time, pause. You don't need to explain every boundary 10 times. You don't need to convince someone that your feelings are valid. A calm no can say more than a long argument. The emotional pressure may rise before it falls. That's normal when you're changing a pattern. You may feel guilty. You may second guess yourself. You may wonder whether you've made a mistake. Give yourself time before judging the decision. One of the biggest lessons of this storm is that discomfort doesn't always mean you're on the wrong path. Sometimes discomfort means you're finally leaving the path that kept you stuck. Think about the last time you knew something wasn't right but stayed because changing it seemed harder. Maybe you stayed in a job, friendship, relationship habit, or mindset because it was familiar. Familiar isn't always healthy. The coming days may make that difference impossible to ignore. You could receive a piece of information that changes your priorities. Something you thought was urgent may suddenly seem unimportant. Something you've ignored may become impossible to overlook. A person you once placed on a pedestal may look ordinary. A goal you chased for years may no longer feel like your dream. That isn't failure, that's growth. And Gemini, this is where the storm becomes a gift. The storm removes what you can no longer carry. It may remove an illusion. It may remove an old fear. It may remove a false promise. It may remove your need to keep proving yourself. It may even remove a person from your path. Whatever leaves, don't automatically assume you've lost something valuable. Ask what space the change creates. That empty space could become the room where something better finally enters. Your intuition will be especially useful when combined with common sense. Don't make choices from panic. Don't spend money because someone promises results. Don't return to a situation just because loneliness feels. Don't reject an opportunity because fear tells you that you aren't ready. Take breath, look at the facts, then listen to your heart. The storm may create a moment when everything happens at once. A message, conversation, decision, and realization could arrive close together. If that happens, remember that you don't have to solve your entire future in 1 hour. You need to choose the next honest step. That step might be answering a message. It might be refusing one. It might be making a phone call. It might be applying for something. It might be finally admitting what you want. Whatever it is, let it come from clarity rather than fear. Because when this turning point passes, you will likely understand why the pressure had to build. You weren't being pushed toward destruction. You were being pushed toward truth. And once truth becomes visible, your next responsibility is simple: don't ignore what you've learned. The storm has shown you the door. Now you have to decide whether you're ready to walk through it. Now you have to decide whether you're ready to walk through it. Gemini, the next step isn't about making a dramatic move just because the energy feels intense. It's about moving with awareness. If the storm brings a message, don't answer from emotion. If it brings an ending, don't chase what has already chosen to live. If it brings an opportunity, don't reject it simply because you're afraid of what could change. For these next 3 days, your greatest strength will be your ability to pause. Give yourself a few extra minutes before replying to difficult messages. Read important details twice. Think about what someone is actually saying instead of what you hope they mean. A calm response can protect you from a choice that would create another problem later. Someone may try to rush you. You could hear words like now, today, or you have to decide. Don't let another person's urgency become your emergency. Important choices deserve clear thinking. If something is right for you, it shouldn't require you to abandon your common sense. Love may test this lesson. A person could suddenly become warm after being distant. That attention might feel wonderful, especially if you've been waiting for it. Enjoy the failing, but watch what happens afterward. Real change is shown through consistency. One beautiful conversation doesn't erase months of confusing behavior. If you're in a relationship, Choose honest communication over guessing games. Say what you need without turning the conversation into an attack. Listen carefully when your partner speaks. There may be a fear underneath their words that they've struggled to express. Your goal isn't to winch your goal, is to understand what is actually happening. Single Geminis should avoid making loneliness the reason for accepting someone. You deserve more than temporary attention. If an old connection returns, ask yourself whether you're being offered a new relationship or simply another version of the old cycle. The difference will appear through actions, not promises. Money requires the same patience. If unexpected cash appears, don't spend it immediately because you feel relieved. Take care of what matters first. If a financial opportunity arrives, check the terms before committing. A storm can bring opportunity, but excitement can make you overlook details. Work may require you to speak up. If you've been doing extra tasks without recognition, this could be the moment to explain your value. Don't complain about everything you've done, show the results. Let people see what you've contributed. Confidence doesn't mean being loud. It means being willing to stand behind your work. Family situations may also need boundaries. Someone could bring you a problem and expect you to solve it. You can care without carrying everything. Help where you can, but don't sacrifice your peace to keep another person comfortable. Their emotions belong to them. Your choices belong to you. One important rule for these 3 days is simple: don't react to every trigger. A message can wait. An argument can cool down. A decision can sometimes sit overnight. Your first emotional response may be real, but it doesn't always need to become your final action. Watch your energy, too. If you're exhausted, step away. If your mind feels crowded, reduce the noise. Put the phone down, take a walk. Drink some water, sit somewhere quiet. You don't need to search for signs every minute. The message that's meant for you won't require constant fear. There may be a moment when you feel tempted to ask, what if everything goes wrong? Replace that question with, what if this finally puts me on the right path? That small change can shift your emotional state. Fear looks for danger. Hope looks for possibility. You can acknowledge fear without allowing it to lead. During this window, protect your words. Don't reveal private information just because someone suddenly becomes friendly. Don't make promises you can't keep. Don't speak harshly simply because you're hurt. Words can open doors, but they can also close them permanently. If an apology arrives, listen before deciding what it means. Forgiveness doesn't automatically require renewed access. You can accept someone's apology and still keep your distance. You can release anger without returning to the same situation. If no apology comes, give yourself permission to move forward anyway. Your healing doesn't need another person's cooperation. A powerful opportunity may appear after something disappointing. Perhaps a plan falls apart, but another option becomes visible. Maybe someone says no, and that rejection pushes you toward a better connection. Don't judge the entire story by one difficult moment. Gemini, your task isn't to predict every detail of the storm. Your task is to remain steady while the details reveal themselves. Stay curious, but don't become obsessed. Stay open, but keep boundaries. Stay hopeful, but use judgment. The 3-day countdown isn't meant to make you afraid of August 18. It's meant to make you present between August 15 and August 18. Every day carries information. Every conversation can teach you something. Every reaction shows you where you still need growth. If something leaves, let it leave with dignity. If something stays, make sure it deserves your trust. If something new appears, give it room to prove itself. Most importantly, don't abandon yourself while waiting for someone else to choose you. That's the pattern this storm may break. You have spent enough time asking what someone else feels. Now ask what you feel. You've wondered when the situation will change. Ask what you can change today. You've waited for a sign. Sometimes the sign is your own growing certainty. The coming days may still feel intense, but you don't have to meet intensity with panic. Meet it with patience. Meet uncertainty with questions. Meet change with courage. And when the final piece falls into place, you will understand that the storm wasn't here to destroy your future. It was clearing your view of it. What happens next may surprise you, because once the old pattern breaks, completely different possibility can enter your life.